going on. So, goodness. Okay. But it's weird, my camera changed. I really hope nothing happens. Okay, so welcome. I hope this is the last time I have to redo a live stream. So first off, today is June 25th, 2026. And I finally have chosen now to talk about a new celebrity I like. But here's the thing. This is now my third time doing this live stream. The first time when I started this live stream, it suddenly crashed on me. I have no idea what happened. It's my first time ever seeing it crash on me like that. So that was not a good sign, right? So anyways, I'm like, okay, it's okay. I only talked for like 5 minutes and then it crashed. That's okay. But if it was longer, like an hour and then crashed on me, that's, but it's, anyway, so I'm gonna hopefully do this live stream as quickly as possible, but we don't know. I'll do my best. So anyways, I start the live stream a second time, right? Everything was fine, but my phone was like connected, for the battery. And then I keep forgetting to unplug it in time so that you guys don't hear that message of the charging is done. So I was doing that, but then I accidentally dropped my phone. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a total mess right now. And I'm like, it's okay. I only talked for like 15 minutes. So I'm like, let me just restart it. It's fine. If it was an hour, but okay, but it was only 15 minutes. And so I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Let's close it. Let's restart this. And I will hopefully talk about everything concisely, quickly. Let's get this over with, okay? Because maybe I'm not meant to talk about him. I don't know. This is the third time now. It's the third time now restarting this live stream. So let's get to it. But I do want to mention briefly that I am rooting for South Korea in the World Cup. I was quite sad seeing their game today. And they're not out of the running yet, but it's going to be very difficult moving forward. But I am rooting for South Korea for the World Cup and just fighting to the South Korea team. I really hope. Okay, so out of the way. Let's talk about this new celebrity I like. So I have been a K-pop fan, Korean pop music, since I was 15 years old. And that has always been the only thing I've been interested in with entertainment. Korean music, Korean dramas, Korean celebrities. I've only been into them. Now, when it comes to the Chinese entertainment side, I have seen dramas and movies and some of their music from China before, but nothing ever really made me like really get into them. So I'm really into the Korean entertainment industry. Like everything about it is just everything I like about it. But when it came to the Chinese way that they do it, I just was never into it. But I admit that they do make some good dramas and movies which I've seen before, but just nothing ever made me want to fall into it. And so when it came to Chinese celebrities, the only one I ever got interested was a Chinese member who was in a K-pop group. That's the thing. And so a brief history on that. Do you guys know the K-pop group EXO? So I was really into EXO during their debut time. So that was when I discovered them. And it was, just they're freshly new, like debut time. And I was like, wow, I'm really interested in them. And the member who I was interested in the most, it was the Chinese member. His name is Luhan. So Luhan always had my interest, and I was surprised that he's a Chinese dude, but I usually am into Korean guys, but for some reason I'm into him. And I'm like, wow, this is my first time really liking a Chinese celebrity, but he's in a K-pop group. So do I really am interested in a Chinese celebrity? I'm not sure, but keep in mind, I think I like Luhan as a member of this K-pop group more than his ethnicity. So let's just keep that in mind for now. So I became a hardcore EXO fan. I was really into them since their debut time, and then was following them. They were at the time EXO-M and EXO-K, and Sadly, I think this usually happens with many K-pop groups. I don't wanna get into the drama of K-pop companies and the terrible things they do. But sadly, I think it was only a year and a half of EXO, of all members, that sadly then the Chinese members were leaving. So they were talking about 1 second, I forgot to turn off auto translate. Okay, so yeah, so just the Chinese members were having issues, and eventually Luhan left EXO, but I personally supported him to leave EXO because I remember that he was dealing with a lot of terrible stuff being in that group and in that company. And so one by one, Luhan and then the other Chinese members were leaving, and I was like, yeah, I'm okay with it. You guys can do better on your own. Like, don't do what I mean by that. Don't stay in something that is not benefiting you. So I was sad to see this group that I was a big fan of, crumble like this, but I cared more that the members are doing what they want to do and for their well-being. Yeah. So after Luhan left EXO, I tried to follow what he does in his future activities, which was pursuing his career in China. So he was not doing anything in Korea anymore. He moved back to China and was pursuing his career there. And I was trying to follow his career in China, but for some reason I suddenly was like, I'm not too into him anymore. So as I was trying to follow his Chinese work and what he's doing, but it was so weird. I just suddenly was not into him anymore. And so that made me think it's because I liked him in the K-pop group style and the atmosphere of how he was doing in that K-pop group. Even though he was like the Chinese subunit, but still he was part of that concept of like the K-pop group. And so him leaving that, and now he's just his own self, pursuing as a Chinese singer in China, it was just a completely different feeling, and I was not into it. So I naturally just was like, okay, Luhan, I'm not a fan of you anymore, but that's okay. I'll still be interested to see what future things you do, if maybe who knows, right? So I'll still be interested to hear how he's doing, but I definitely was not his fan anymore, maybe a few months after he left EXO. And so this was the only Chinese celebrity I was ever into, only him. And so after him, I've only been into K-pop singers, none of them, not another Chinese guy again. Yeah, so Luhan was the only Chinese guy ever that I got interested in. But yeah, ever since him, then all the other K-pop singers I ever like, only Korean. Yeah, only Korean. Yeah. So that's been my history, right? So 1 second. So someone asked me, am I Chinese? So I am ethnically Chinese and Korean. Okay, yeah. I mean, I will keep speaking in English, but I do know the languages Chinese and Korean, but I will only speak in English here. Any comment that is not pertaining to what I'm talking about, I will not respond to it. Okay. Okay, so moving on. So now with that history in mind, so I honestly never thought I would be interested in Chinese entertainment or Chinese celebrities. I just always felt like it just was never my style. And so I was only into the Korean entertainment singers and dramas. But keeping in mind, I don't think I ever got super interested in a Korean actor before. Like, I'm a fan of some actors out there. Like, I think they're either good looking or they act very well. But other than that, I never felt to become a fan of a Korean actor. But I've only been a big fan of Korean singers so far. And so this now happens 3 months ago, so March of this year, I suddenly decided to try watching Chinese dramas. It's quite a long story how that happened. It wasn't just out of nowhere, but one thing led to another. I started watching Chinese dramas back in March. And so the first drama I watched was Love Between Fairy and Devil. Tan Jian-si is not in, I mean, this guy, so this guy that I'm a fan of, this Chinese actor singer, he is not in this drama. Sorry, I'll talk about his name later. So Love Between Fairy and Devil. My Chinese friend recommended this drama to me at first. She said, since it's your first time really getting into Chinese dramas, this should be a good drama for you to watch at first. And so I'm like, okay, let's try it and see how it goes. So Love Between Fairy and Devil, amazing drama. I really recommend it, but it is really angsty. So that's number one. If you're not into angst, then you don't have to watch it. It's okay, but it's really angsty. But the story is amazing. I just cannot believe what an amazing story it is, but it's angsty. It made me like hurt a lot inside, and I don't know how much I cried, but I did cry. But it was just too much feelings, too much like OMG moments, and too much, it's just too much. Basically, it's really overwhelming. It really is, but it's an amazing story. They made the drama really well. The characters are really good. The acting, I think overall, I like the acting. Sometimes the acting is kind of weird, but overall, all the actors I think did a fine job. And so this drama, after I finished watching it, I got really, 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 really sad. So I will not say the ending of Love Between Fairy and Devil, but how the whole journey was up until it finally ended. I never felt that about a drama before, where I'm like, wow, I'm really, really, really sad. I cannot say exactly why I was so sad, but it was just a feeling I never had before while watching a drama. And finished watching the drama, that I felt incredibly sad. So I'm dealing with all this for the first time. And, thankfully, I have my Chinese friend to help me deal with my feelings. But I was like, oh my gosh, I never felt such deep sadness like this before. And it's only over a drama. And so my Chinese friend, she totally understands me. She also goes through those phases when she's, after watching a really good story or drama, whatever. She totally understands me. She's like, I don't know why this happens, but Chinese stories just does that to you. Okay. So, but then again, if you're not a very emotional person, maybe you won't get as emotional as me, but at least my Chinese friend, attests to it, that she also feels that way, and she understands that these stories, for some reason, really it really affects you. So I finished watching the drama, and I'm really, really, really sad. And I'm like, I don't know how to go about my normal life when I can't stop thinking about the drama. I can't stop thinking how sad I am. It was really, really bad. And so so that's why I really do recommend Love Between Fairy and Devil. But I always want to warn that if you get very, very emotionally, if you feel something, or if you don't like the angst, like it's too angsty for you, so you don't want to keep watching it, yeah, I totally understand. So if you cannot handle it emotionally, then don't watch it, okay? So I have to warn, only watch it when you feel emotionally ready, and then see if you understand my feeling after you finish watching that drama. So I'm going through this really, I can't explain it, but I'm like, really, 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 really sad, right? So as I'm trying to get over this phase, whatever this phase is, so I'm talking to my friend about it. It's like, we have to figure this out, because it's really taking over my everything. Like, I can't go about my normal life because I can't stop thinking about the drama and my feelings. So as we were going about trying to think of ideas, it's like, how about try to watch another drama, fighting fire with fire, right? So let's try a new drama that can hopefully get you out of this phase, because you'll be so focused on a new drama. And now the thing is, I don't want to go through another emotional cycle with another Chinese drama that might ruin my life again, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe let's try to find really easy dramas. They're not emotional, not angsty. They're just super simple, okay dramas, and hopefully will make me feel better. So we went through quite a few dramas, and none of them were helping me. It was just like, oh my gosh, it's just making me feel worse, or it's just not helping me at all. So it just felt like nothing was gonna work. And I was like, I don't know what to do, because I'm constantly sad all the time. So as we were trying for days, this was going on for days of trying to make me feel better, when suddenly I'm on Twitter, just like how anyone would be on Twitter, right? I'm browsing on Twitter, and I see these tweets for some reason, I mean, I don't know how the algorithm works in Twitter, but there were more tweets about Chinese dramas in my feed now after I finished watching the Fairy Devil drama. So one of the tweets says, this drama called Lost You Forever, it's a drama everyone should see once in their lifetime. So I see that tweet and I'm like, that's really big to say about a drama. I've never seen a tweet or anyone say that about a drama before. And so for some reason, this tweet just really stuck with me. I'm like, wow, why would someone say that about this drama? But then also the title is really scary. Lost You Forever, right? So I'm like, that's a really terrible title. Of course it's going to be really sad. But for some reason, I guess because I'm personally still really sad, I can't stop thinking. I'm in this emotional like whirlpool of sadness. I just can't get out of it. So while I'm in this sadness, I read this tweet and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll fight sadness with sadness. And so I thought to myself, nothing can be worse than how I'm feeling right now. So let me try this drama that this person says everyone has to see once in their lifetime. And I'm like, the title is really, really terrible, but I am so curious and I just really want to get out of this cycle I'm in of how sad I am. So I talked to my Chinese friend, hey, have you seen this drama called Lost You Forever? And she says, yes, I know it. And she initially didn't want me to see it at first because she said it's terrible in the sense of like, it will ruin your life. And so she warned me, but I'm like, you know what, friend? I'm already so sad right now. If I watch another drama and it's gonna make me sad, come on, I'm already sad. So let's just add on to the sadness. It's no big deal. This is me talking as, you know, in that whirlpool of sadness, okay? So I was just fed up with it. I'm like, I just want to see anything to hopefully get me out of this phase. So we start watching Lost You Forever, and the story is amazing, but it's also ruining my life. Now, here's the thing. I did not finish it yet. So I do not know the ending, but based on how the story is going that I've seen so far, and it's called Lost You Forever. So I'm, of course, truly believing it's a terrible, heart-wrenching ending. Terrible as in, you know, just terrible on our feelings, okay? But I'm sure it's an amazing ending. I sure hope so. But my friend, you know, warned me already, like, it's gonna ruin your life. And so that also makes me think, yeah, the story is really gonna affect you. But so for now, I still don't know the ending of Lost You Forever, but I will soon. But for now, I have a lot of stuff that I need to settle in my life first, because I really, based on my past experience, I get really, really sad. Most likely I will be after I finish Lost You Forever, and it's going to ruin my daily life. And so I don't want that to affect my daily life. And so once I feel ready to deal with the ending of Lost You Forever, that's when finally I will know the ending. And then maybe I have to talk with you guys about my sadness, but it's okay. It's going to be okay. So that's why for now I'm okay, right? Because I'm holding on that until I feel ready, and then I'll go through the next wave of sadness again. But the thing is, Lost You Forever did help me not feel sad anymore. So as I was really getting into the story, and it's just such an amazing story that I completely forgot about my initial sadness from the Fairy Devil drama. So it did help me. But now I'm in this new cycle of this drama that will ruin my life later, but it's okay. So I'm not going to finish the drama yet, and I will deal with that sadness later. And so I don't know if this is going to be the cycle now, that I need a new drama each time to help me come out of that cycle of sadness. So I don't know. But the thing is, will every Chinese drama really affect me this strongly? I don't know. So that's all to say for now. I'm so sorry. I need to talk about this new celebrity I like. Okay, but let me read the comments first, and then finally let me talk about the guy I like. Okay, so so this This comment says, just like when BTS went off for their military service and you didn't like their solo style, but you like their group style. Wow, that's a good comparison. Yeah, of Luhan, of when I liked Luhan when he was in the group EXO. So yeah, I guess seeing him as a solo singer, but also is out of the EXO concept, and so he's his own singing and career and stuff, but yeah, I just wasn't into it, and to each their own, right? And so I thought I really liked Luhan as a singer, but turned out I guess not really, right? So yeah, I do find that interesting. Yeah, so I want to believe that's the best comparison as to why I did not stick with being a fan of Luhan after he left EXO. But I'm still interested to know if he's doing okay. As far as I know, he is doing okay, but he's not like super popular in China. I think he's just okay popular, but I believe the Chinese guy I like, I believe he is more popular than Luhan at this point. I think so. But anyways, let me talk about my favorite Chinese actor singer in 1 second. Yes, I was really, really emotional after I finished the drama called Love Between Fairy and Devil. If you guys are interested to see this drama, it's on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, it's called Love Between Fairy and Devil. And if you ever finish that drama and you would maybe know why that got me so emotional, but if you don't relate with me, it's okay too. So it could be I'm just really emotional. That's why it affected me so much. But I still warn, if it ruins your life as much as it did mine, at least I warn you before you go into that whirlpool of Chinese dramas. So, but I really do recommend it because the story is really, really good. It really is. Yeah. Yeah, let's call it that way. Post-concert depression, but for dramas. Yeah, so I was like post-Chinese drama depression, let's put it that way. So if you can relate with me how it's like post-concert depression, I would say it's similar, but I only say similar because I feel like the Chinese drama is way more sad than how it is after a concert. Just it's unbelievable. But it is similar. Yes, it is. So that helps to understand it. So now finally, let me talk about the title of this live stream, and also is his photo in this thumbnail. So let me introduce my new favorite Chinese actor singer. Actually, he's my only favorite. He's my only, like, I've never liked a Chinese actor before. So his name is Tan Jianci in Chinese. And so how you spell that is that his surname is Tan, T-A-N, and his given name is Jianci. So you spell that as Jianci. And so you are free to Google him and look into who he is. Go ahead. And so this guy, he's in the drama that I'm currently watching called Lost You Forever. So as I'm watching Lost You Forever, I think overall the characters and the actors, just overall everyone is doing fine. But for his character, his name is Xiang Liu. So this character is a very, very interesting character. It's just so interesting. And also overall, I think this character is the most entertaining out of all the characters in the drama. So he really stuck out to me. But then my opinion of the actor, though, I'm not thinking about the actor too much when I'm watching a drama. I'm just only caring about the story and the characters. And so the character Xiang Liu was just, oh my gosh, I just really was too, it's just, so I usually would not be too into a character like that, but I was really, really, really just too, I was like, wow, this character is so amazing. But I also think it's because of the actor acting him so well, could be the reason why I'm also really into the character. So it could be a lot of combination, right? And so anyways, I'm first really, really into the character Xiang Liu in Lost You Forever drama. And so as I'm talking about this drama with my Chinese friend, she's already seen it. She knows everyone. She also knows the actor too. And so suddenly we're talking about the drama and how much I like the character Xiang Liu. And then she tells me about the actor, like he's also really good. And like she compliments him, like he's just so good at acting. Like look at this scene. Like, so she's a fangirl of him, but she's definitely not like super into him or anything. But she really likes how good of an actor he is. And so she's telling me things about him like that. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. He is such a good actor. And so we talk about him like that at first. So this is my first like introduction of him. But in my mind, I'm not done with the drama yet. And I don't want to know more of the actors until I finish the drama, because I feel like if I know the actor and I see their real personality, it kind of ruins my thinking of how they are acting in the drama. And so I just really just wanted to avoid it until I finish the drama. But as I keep talking with my friend about the actor guy, one thing led to another. And then I just decided to ask her, I'm kind of curious, what is his name? Can you tell me his name? I forgot what made me want no. I think what made me want to ask her is that we talk about the actor so often. So we only call him the actor, right? But we don't call him by a name. And so I decided, we talk so much about this actor and I really like this character, Xiang Liu. Like, we should call him by his name. And so that's why, that is what happened. So now I ask her, hey, what's this actor's name? We should call him by his name instead of just calling him the actor. And so she tells me his name, and I'm like, wow, Tan Jianci, that is such a nice name. And so that was my first reaction when I first hear his name. Oh my gosh, wow, he has a really nice name. And so I was already like for some reason, I don't know why, but his name in Chinese is just really, it's really interesting. I can't say it's unique. It is unique, but I just felt like, wow, that kind of Chinese name really suits him. That's how I felt like when I first heard it. So now I know his name, and I'm like, okay, so from now on, if we're going to be talking about the actor, let's finally call him by his name. And so now we call him by his name. And so as we keep talking about him, and then a few days pass by as I'm still watching the drama and we, talk about everything, then suddenly this friend, for some reason, she's like, hey, do you know that he's a singer? I don't know why she mentioned that. I can't remember, but it just came naturally because we just talk about, Tan Jianci when we're watching the drama, talking about, oh my gosh, like he's so good, blah, blah, blah. And so I think it just came naturally. She just wanted to tell me, do you know that he's actually a singer? And I'm like, can you be quiet? How is he so good at acting? And he's actually a singer. And she's like, yeah, like his main job used to be a singer. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so that blew my mind. It's like, I really don't want to learn more about him. I really just want to focus on the drama and the character Xiang Liu. I wanna learn about the actor, the guy later, okay? But my friend, I don't know why I don't know. Okay, she just wanted to tell me. I don't know. Okay, so she tells me this, and I'm like, that's crazy. He's also a singer, but I'll look into him later, right? So I put that in the back of my mind, but I couldn't believe that he's also a singer. And now she suddenly sends me a YouTube link, and it's a YouTube link of him singing, and she's like, you should see this. I'm like, I don't want to see it. so I'm like, hey friend, I really don't want to know the actor yet. I want to focus on the drama. I want to focus on his character without knowing the guy. Just stop it. Okay, so I tell her to stop it, but the link, she already sends the link to me. So I'm like, okay, she already sends the link to me. I'll just watch it a little bit. It's not that big of a deal, but I can see already, by the title and thumbnail, it's him singing whatever, right? And so I'm just like, okay, it's just watching him sing. It's not a big deal. Okay, so I click on it to see him sing. And he's singing a song that's an OST from Lost You Forever. And so I click on it and I hear him sing and I'm just like, wow. So I'm like, I'm shocked. He is a beautiful singing voice. It's amazing. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so also this is technically my first time seeing him talking. Okay, wait. It's my first time seeing him not as Xiang Liu, right? So it's my first time seeing him as his own person, Tan Jianci. So he talks a little and then he goes into singing. And so I'm like, okay, that's interesting. He's just, he's just a regular guy, right? And so I just thought it's interesting to see this other side of him. But I was so I can't, I was really, I couldn't believe it that he sings amazing. So he's not only an amazing actor, he's also an amazing singer. And so I am just, this is already ruining my life of this guy is so talented. So 1 second as I read the comments, 1 second. The actor, yeah, that's what we called him at first. Just going down a rabbit hole. This commenter, you can already see my downfall. Okay, so let me continue the story. So now I know a little bit of him as Tan Jianci, and I hear him singing for the first time. And I'm just like, wow, I don't know how to feel about this guy anymore. So I'm like, okay, friend, no more. You better not send me anything about this guy anymore, because I really want to focus on the drama and the character Xiang Liu. And so this guy, I wanna research about him after the drama. I just don't want that in my mind when I'm watching the drama about him. So I try to forget about it. My friend is not sending me any more links, but sadly, I could not stop thinking about it. So I couldn't stop thinking how he's an amazing singer. He's an amazing actor. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so because it's YouTube, so I saw a YouTube video of him, right? And so of course he shows up in my algorithm now, right? So I see him popping up in my algorithm, but I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna click on it. Nope, it's not gonna happen. So I'm just ignoring it. So I'm going on YouTube and I have to ignore everything about him. And I'm just like, this is terrible. So I really felt like I could not escape from it, right? And so I talked to my friend about it. I'm like, hey, so thanks to you, friend, my algorithm is all about this guy, and now I can't stop thinking about him. So I don't know what to do. I feel just really weird. I feel really weird because I don't want to look him up. I don't want to know about him because it's gonna ruin my drama experience. So I can't remember what happened. But what happened next? So yeah, I told to my friend it's ruining my life. And then, okay. So I decided, okay, let me watch one of his other dramas. Yes, so this is why I decided to hopefully help me stop thinking about him. I'm like, okay, let me watch one of his dramas. And so she tells me of his other drama. It's called Filter. It's a long story. We could talk about it next time. And so she tells me about this drama Filter, and there's a reason why she tells me about it. And so she tells me about his drama. And I'm like, so this is a modern drama, as in is not it's not ancient China, is no magical powers, no fantasy. It's modern day drama. Oh, there is a little fantasy, but still it's set in modern day, and he's acting just a regular guy, just a super regular guy, not a cool character like Xiang Liu. And so he's just acting like a regular guy. And I'm like, okay, let me watch the first episode, and maybe it will help me like get out of like thinking about him, because maybe he won't do a good job of being this normal guy, or it's not gonna impress me knowing that he doesn't act as well as Xiang Liu. So I was hoping, maybe you guys can guess what happened, but I was hoping seeing him act like a regular person will help me like, okay, he's just a regular guy. It's nothing impressive. I can stop thinking about him. So I watched the first episode of Filter. Sadly, it made things worse. Yeah, no surprise. So why did it make things worse? He is seriously an amazing actor. That's number one. I cannot stand him. That he is such an amazing actor. So it's a modern day normal people drama. His character is a boring guy. All right, it's a boring guy, has no big depth about him, is not as interesting or funny as the character of Xiang Liu. So he's a boring guy. But Tan Jianci acts a boring guy really well. So I'm watching this, and I cannot believe his acting is so good that he can make a boring guy be interesting. I don't know how to explain how he does it, but I swear this character is not, there's nothing, he's a boring guy. That's all I have to say. He's a boring character, but Tan Jianci is that good at acting that he can make this boring guy actually likable and interesting. But underneath all that, this character is 100% boring. So as I'm watching the first episode of watching how he acts as this boring character, I am so impressed. I was too impressed. And so now I'm like, okay, so that was not what I was hoping for. And so now I'm more fascinated. I'm very, very impressed. So now you can say this is the point of no return. Sadly, Tan Jianci is that amazing in his profession that there's no way I can get out of it. He's an amazing actor. He's an amazing singer. And guess what? It doesn't stop there. Then my friend decides to tell me more things about him. And then she's like, do you know that he's good at Latin ballroom dancing? Yeah, you heard me. You heard me. He has won competitions when he was younger in Latin ballroom dancing. So he's not only acting and singing, he's amazing at dancing. For some reason, there's nothing he can't do. I don't know why. And so I go down the rabbit hole of finding out all the things about him. He's basically talented in everything. And then not only that, then later on, I think early on, I don't think this was later on, but early on, when me and my friend were talking about him, I was curious about how old he was. Like, it just came into conversation, like, of the actors' ages and stuff. And so I was curious, oh, so then how old is the guy that plays Xiang Liu? And then she says, my friend says, he's exactly the same age as us. And I'm like, excuse me? So that also shocked me. So you can look him up and you'll know our ages. And so anyways, I was shocked because he totally does not look his age. He is a total baby face. So I'm like, this lucky little guy. He has the fountain of youth, so good for him. But I was really, really shocked knowing he's the same age as me. And so in all honesty, because of him being the same age as me, that makes me like him even more. It's just, I don't know why, but knowing I'm liking someone who's the same age as me, it really makes me feel comfortable. That's the only feeling I could explain it. I feel very comfortable, and it makes me like him more that he's the same age as me. So down the rabbit hole, right? There's nothing I could find that I don't like about him. And so let me briefly about the comments before I move on. Yes, he is ruining my life. Yeah, gotta love the Instagram algorithm. It was my YouTube algorithm. And yeah, he was already in my mind anyway, I know. And yeah, so she tells me, welcome and congratulations to my new obsession. Yeah, but guess what? My story is not over yet. But thank you for the congratulations, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. So moving on. So as I'm going through the whirlpool of becoming Tan Jianci's fan, yeah, it was just one thing after another. And the thing is, I'm still not done with Lost You Forever, but I do feel like once I finish Lost You Forever, I'm sure I'll see him in a different way, because I'm sure something will happen at the ending. I'm sure it will. And maybe I'll come here to talk about it with you guys. And so I'm sure there's still so much about him that I have yet to see in his profession. And I think it's very clear that I will always be impressed with it. So let's just get that out of the way. I really, really like him for his talent. And I do want to say he's not naturally talented. So when I was looking more into his past, he didn't used to be an amazing actor, and he also didn't used to be an amazing singer. So because he worked very, 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 very hard, he is the hardest working person I think I've ever seen in my life, like in everyday life and celebrities. I don't think I've ever seen someone work as hard as him. So he is really, really, really hardworking, and he really is passionate about the artistry of acting, singing, dancing, everything. So he's very, very passionate about it, and so because of that, he works very hard to perfect it. And I do believe that's why he is now at the level that he is so amazing at acting and singing. Dancing, he's always been good at dancing. You know, that was the first thing he was good at before acting and singing. But in my opinion, I think his acting and singing is way better now than his dancing, but his dancing is still fine. But I really praise him more for his acting and singing. So sorry. So getting that out of the way, his profession, I'm a big fan of it. He's so talented. Just get that out of the way. Now, as I'm learning more about him, I want to know more about his personality, because how can I be a fan of someone? Like, yeah, I'll be a fan of your work. That's fine. But I want to be a fan of also that I want to know who you are as a person. I mean, there's only so much we can know from what a celebrity shows us, of course, but I still want to know as much as I can of how he is as a person and see how I feel about him. So, so for example, I finished watching Love Between Fairy and Devil, and the two male actors that I was interested in that drama, okay, their names are Wang Hedi. He's the Wang Hedi. Yeah, he's the male lead in Love Between Fairy and Devil, and then the other guy, his name is Zhang Linghe. I can't remember the tone, but yeah, Zhang Linghe. And so these two guys, I was a little interested at first, just because I was like, they were so good in the drama, and they're also good looking, but overall, I wasn't like super into them because I wasn't saying too much about their acting while I was watching the drama. But after I finished the drama, then I was just curious. Oh, I wonder how these actors guys are, and so that's when I looked into them. And overall, Wang Hedi and Zhang Linghe, they're just, I don't know. They're just regular guys, which is normal, right? It's very, very normal. So they're just regular guys. And, yeah, but nothing impressed me. Like, I can't say anything about their personalities would make me really, really interested in them. Yeah. But then again, there's only so much I could find out about a Chinese actor, right? So only as much as I could find. Yeah. Overall, I was just like, I don't know, but just definitely nothing I found out about them two actors that made me really get more interested in them. But just overall, I was just like, okay, you're in my mind. We'll see if maybe I see your future dramas, and maybe I'll become your fan later. But for now, I just like them because of the Fairy Devil drama, and they were just in my mind. So with Tan Jianci, I'm really, really just too into him because of his work. And so now I go to look up his personality, and overall, he's not a bad person, that's for sure. I don't get any sense he's a bad person. Overall, at that time, when I was first looking him up, he's super professional, and he answers questions, and overall his speaking and actions is just, he's always aware that he's a celebrity. And so he speaks in a way where, like, I need to make sure I speak everything well, no issues. And so he is just 100% so professional. And that is really good. It is really good. But sadly, it's zero of your personality, right? And so but that is a little of his personality. I really admire that he takes his work so seriously. That's really, really good. And just very professional. You know, he's not like slacking or like saying dumb things, right? He is always aware of like what is the right thing I should be saying, and like be professional, show maturity. So I really like that. And so that is like a little bit of his personality, that he would take that so seriously. But it's sadly not his personality. You guys get me? But so far I see this as not a bad thing. Of course not. So that's why I keep saying I don't think he's a bad guy. But just it's hard to learn about him when he takes his work so seriously. You know what I mean? But I have to keep in mind that is a really good thing about him. And so I still keep looking up things about him, trying to figure things out. And he has done some Chinese variety shows where like they play games and like do silly things. And so I've seen him do things in variety shows, but still I don't know, I still couldn't figure him out. Like he's just having fun just like everyone else is. So like everyone as well are having fun. And like when I see the things that he's doing, I still cannot figure out what his personality is. But I guess the only thing I could take from that is that he's not like a stick in the mud, right? So he definitely enjoys to have fun, and he will you know, do the things to do during the games and whatnot. But I still couldn't say that's his personality. He's still on camera. He still has to be aware of his image. And he just goes about it like how any celebrity would, right? So, yeah, so at this point, as I was trying to figure out his personality, I'm like, you know, I don't think I could figure it out. So I was kind of sad when I got to the point of watching so many of his videos. Like, I don't know if I could say it's a lot or it's a variety of his videos, but I really have tried to look into as many things he has done to try to figure out his personality, and I really couldn't figure it out. That's the emphasis I wanna make about that. And so as I've come to this point, I'm like, it's okay. I don't need to know his personality. I can be his fan, just enjoy his profession. You know, he's very dedicated to his work, and he's so passionate about it, and I really like that about him. So no matter what his personality is like, at least I like this side of him, that he takes his work seriously, and he's really talented, and I should be content with that. And so that's how I felt moving forward, but that's why I still am not sure how I feel about him, because I don't feel like I really know the guy, even though of course we can never know a celebrity well, of course not, but I feel like he is more unknown to me than all the K-pop singers that I'm a fan of. And that's okay. And that's okay. So this is something new I have to deal with, that there's not much I could really figure out about him, but just accept that he will show on camera as much as he wants to show. And he's definitely not a bad person. And so yeah, so I think as an ending note on this, I will try to figure out the small things I have figured out about him that I do like, and we could just end it there on a new celebrity guy I like. Okay, that's it. Okay. Yeah, a comment saying maybe he wants it that way. Definitely. And so if this is, you know, that's how he wants to be, and I have to accept it, right? And that's okay. So this is just me being greedy, that all the celebrities that I like to know as much as I can about them, and also to say more. I like to say more, that, oh, I like the celebrity more than his work. I like to say, oh, I like this about his personality as well, and I think this about him. But for Tan Jian-si, I only can say that I like him the most of how dedicated he is to his work, and he's so talented. And that's okay. Of course it's okay. But I always hope that I could like him more than that. But it's okay. It's okay. And yeah, maybe that's the way he wants it, and that's okay. All right. So I'm so glad YouTube hasn't done me dirty yet, but I do think I need to wrap up this live stream now. So the few things that I figured out about him that I do like. So let me tell them to you guys. So number one, it's not the number one reason, but I'll just list them off. Sorry. Okay, so the first one that comes to mind, he really likes animals, and I really like that about him. So I see him interact with all kinds of animals. He worked with an alpaca. He worked with piglets. I don't know why, but he did. He works with horses. He's really good at riding horses, which he has to do for the ancient dramas. But yeah, he's good with horses. One time I saw him hold a snake, and he was totally fine holding a snake. I don't know why, but good for him. And then he sometimes has to work with birds, and like sometimes he's a little bit afraid of the birds, but he's fine with birds in general. But also he has 2 dogs as pets, and so he really likes dogs the most, I believe. I've seen him interact with a cat before, so I think he's okay with cats. But overall, he really seems to like animals, and I do like that in a person if they like animals. And so he has 2 tiny dogs, and they are so cute. And so his 2 dogs, I think, are very interesting because it kind of shows how the owner is, you know, just by seeing the dogs. And so the dogs are really well behaved, which I think is really impressive. So he definitely, well, I'm sure he spoils them, but he keeps them like grounded, I guess. Like they listen to him. They don't bark at other dogs, but they are scared of other dogs. So I don't know if that's a good thing, but I do like seeing they do not like attack other dogs or anything like that. So they are very well trained and well behaved, and I think that says something about his personality, right? So knowing these things about him, how he is with animals, and his 2 dog pets, yeah, so I like that about him. But you know, he recently said in an interview, he said that animals are scared of him. I'm like, really? Because that's so far from the animals I've seen him interact with. The animals seem to like him, but he's saying in particular, like this one dog, for some reason is scared of him, and that he even says his own dogs are scared of him too. And I'm like, no, his own dogs do like him, but I think that's why they're so well behaved, because they are scared of their owner, which is actually a good thing. I think that's a good thing. And so he just said this recently in an interview, that some animals are actually scared of him, and I'm like, that's not a bad thing. I don't think so. Sometimes that would be a bit concerning if animals don't like someone, because animal instincts, I do take it into account. Not that I would take it seriously, but I would keep it in mind. Why would this animal be afraid of you? But I think with Tan Jianci is not because he has a bad aura or something. I think it's because he is a very confident guy. So that's another point I want to say of another thing I like about him. He's very confident in himself, and so I think because of confidence, and it's like a very strong aura. So I think that makes some animals be like, oh my gosh, you're like too alpha, I guess, so it's like, you're too alpha for me, so you kind of scare me. And so maybe his dogs feel that way, like he is like super head of the pack kind of leader feeling, and then other dogs might be like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're too strong for me. So from my interpretation, I don't know if I'm right, but from my interpretation, I don't think it's because they're scared of him because he's a bad person. It could be because he has a lot of confidence in himself. And so that is into the next point I like about him. I really appreciate that he is so confident in himself. So I think that comes out in his singing and acting of he's so talented. He really is amazingly talented. But to add on top of that, if you have the confidence of showing it off, like, it makes it even more impressive, So I really appreciate that he is a very, very, he's confident in himself, and that's really, really good. And the thing is, I haven't heard him say this, but my friend told me that he has said this before, is that he is not super tall, but he's not super short. Okay, I personally don't think he's short, but people keep saying he's short, but he's more than average for a Chinese guy height, in my opinion. Okay, so anyways, I don't think he's short, but a comment once said to him, attacking on his height. He's like, I don't know what the comment was, but it's basically attacking him, saying like, oh, you're pretty short. Like, you're good in all these things, but you're pretty short. And so he hears that or reads that, and then he says back to the person, my confidence does not come from my height. I'm like, that is a really, really great, what's the word? What do we call that? Great response. Yeah, that is such a good response of like, because some people probably have confidence from their height, right? Because they're really tall or something. But he's like, my confidence does not come from my height. And so he's like, my height, being short, like, it doesn't affect him at all. And that as well proves how confident he is in himself, and height does not matter. And I hope he knows he is not short. In my opinion, he is not short. He's average Chinese guy height, but I think he's a little bit taller than average, in my opinion, because I usually see a lot of short Chinese guys, and by short I mean like maybe under 168. I feel like I see them quite often, but he is definitely at least 170. But I think I'm pretty sure he's like around 174, because that's what his profile says, but I feel like that's not a lie. I think he looks like around 174, but that is definitely not short, in my opinion. Okay, so anyways, I hope he knows that he's not short. And but regardless, his confidence does not come from his height. And so when knowing that he said something like that, I'm like, I'm really glad he is not affected by his height, and his confidence is really strong within him, right? So yeah, that's another point I like about him. And I think this is the final point. I think so. The final point I could say about as much as I know of his personality is that he's really dorky, which is not bad. I say this as a good thing. So he's a really, really dorky guy. So it shows more in variety shows, but overall he's like really silly. So like there are times when he doesn't care about his image and he does like silly things, but it's not to the point of like really, really embarrassing himself. But he, in general, I think he is he just has a silly side in himself, and so he would show it when he wants to, but he doesn't let it go crazy or anything. And so I do feel that way. Overall, he's always very professional and would keep things controlled, but when he wants to and when he feels comfortable, then he will let his silly side come out, and I think that's really cute. And so I do like to see a little bit of, of that side of him that we know is there, but he keeps it under control. But he does have a dorky, silly side to him. And yeah, and I think that's overall as much as we can get from what we can see of him as a celebrity. And that's it. But I don't know if I said this already, but I do think he's very good looking. And so the thumbnail of this live stream, that's him, and that's a recent photo of him. So currently this guy is enjoying Europe. I'm so jealous. I've never been to Europe. Is anyone here from Europe? So I've never been to Europe before, but he a couple days ago went to Milan. So wow, he goes to Milan, and so he went to Milan because he has brands from that city, and he, working with them. So he just met them as like business meeting, but also like filming stuff, to promote that brand. So he went to Milan for that, and then a few days later, then he went to Switzerland. So he's currently in Switzerland, but maybe he's in a new country by now, because I can't believe he's going to so many places so quickly. But that photo of him in this thumbnail, that's him enjoying a boat ride in Switzerland, and it's just, isn't he so handsome? Yeah. And so that's his photo. I mean, I don't know if I have permission to use it, but if I don't have permission, he can come find me, okay? Anyways, yeah, but that's his own photo of him enjoying a small vacation in Switzerland. But he's also in Switzerland for another brand that he's working with, and so he met with them, and then I don't know, probably filmed some stuff too. And so anyways, yeah, so he's currently busy with his regular work as a celebrity. He just finished filming his drama, an ancient China drama. He just finished that like a week ago, and so after finishing filming that, now he's doing all these things he has to do. I don't know, all his other jobs, whatever. And also, he says he keeps saying it for months, but I don't know when it's gonna be done. But he said his new music album will come out any day now. I don't even know if it's done yet, but I really hope his new album comes out soon, because I really want to hear his new songs. And also, I would like to buy his album for the first time. So so there's lots of new things he's gonna be doing in the future, and so I will enjoy it as just a fan. And yeah, so that's currently who I like at the moment. But I do still like my K-pop singers. So if you guys have seen my past live streams, I'm a huge fan of lots of K-pop singers, so I still do like them. But currently this Chinese actor singer Tan Jianci, he's more in my mind these days. I think it's just because he's new, all right? So this could be just a phase. He's new. And also, I do like him a bit more because all the K-pop singers I like are all younger than me, but then this guy is the same age as me, and so I do feel that really gives him a benefit. Like, he's so lucky. He's the lucky one that he's the same age as me, and so yeah, that does make me like him more. And also, I usually am not into Chinese guys, but he is technically the first Chinese celebrity I'm a fan of. Like, I don't really consider Luhan the first one, because Luhan, I liked him when he was in a K-pop group. But for Tan Jianci, I like him as a Chinese celebrity. He was never in anything K-pop or anything, right? And so he's really the first Chinese celebrity I ever like. And does that mean I'll like more? I don't know, but this is crazy regardless that I even like a Chinese celebrity out of nowhere. And so Tan Jianci, he's very, very lucky. He's the first one. So yeah. So I don't know where this journey will take me as I keep liking this guy, but to keep in mind, I still am a big K-pop fan, and balancing things is going to be interesting. But for Tan Jianci, it's mainly just watching his dramas and listening to his music once it comes out, and so it's very simple being his fan, but it's not very fun when you're not in the same country. But I think it's okay. I still prefer living in Korea. I do not want to live in China. It's not my cup of tea. But yeah. So that's it. Okay, great. Well, to anyone watching, thank you for tuning in. Especially this commenter, you're so kind to watch me rant about him this whole time. So thank you for listening. And to anyone who watches later, that now I like this new guy. And I'm glad finally to have talked about him. I'm really glad. Yeah. So now I have this out of the way. And so the next time I can do a live stream, I don't think will be anytime soon, but you may never know. Maybe I need to do a live stream randomly to talk about something too crazy. That's the only reason I could think of that would make me wanna talk about it. But yeah, I think that's it for now. Until the next time I can see you. I don't want to believe it'll be months later. I don't think it'll take that long to do another live stream, and so I will update you hopefully soon, but not super soon. Okay. So let me just wait a few seconds as I say my goodbye. So as always, be healthy, take care, be safe, don't worry, be happy, stay happy. Good day and good night, whatever your time zone is. Yeah, I used to say more, but I forgot it because I haven't done live streams in a while. But okay. But anyways, thank you for listening, and hope you're excited for what might happen in my fangirl life from this point on. Who knows? Okay. So until next time. Bye.